They're not judging your ideas, they're judging how you deliver them. You're smart, you're accomplished, but if your delivery is off, you get passed over. In this video, I show you the speaking habits that silently kill your credibility and how to fix them so the right people say, "This is the one, let's go." I spent 30 years broadcasting to hundreds of millions, and I didn't book the smartest person. I booked the expert who showed up like they owned the mic. I share high-impact communication tips in my newsletter. Why don't you subscribe? The number one reason people don't sound compelling is because they're not bringing enough energy. They think they are, but they're not. Let's break this down. Your presence hits people's nervous system before your message hits their mind. They're subconsciously asking, do they believe what they're saying? Should I follow their lead? If you sound unsure or muted, you're tagged as a maybe, even when your message is solid. Research backs this up. People decide whether to trust you within seconds, and you don't get a second chance. Energy is everything. Here's how I fix this with clients. I record them as they are, and then I have them go all out and be their loudest, wildest, over-the-top self, say at 170%. They're usually shouting and making huge moves. Then dial it back to around 120%. When they watch the recordings, they usually land on 120% as their best spotlight self. My go-to to lift my energy before an interaction is Santana Abraxas on loud. Move, dance, sing. Do what energizes you. Do it before you step up to speak because, look, you've worked too hard to deliver at 40%. Your voice is the vehicle for your authority. Let's fix the 3 most common delivery habits that make you sound less credible than you actually are. Trailing off or running out of air. You start with power, but your voice drops away at the end. What they hear is uncertainty, weakness, lack of clarity. Here's your fix. Think one idea, one breath. Your lungs are this balloon. You can only speak clearly when there's air steadily coming out. So fill your lungs. Breathe in through your nose, fill your lungs, and release words as air escapes. Speak on the out-breath. Don't hold your breath. And pause before you run out. Repeat. Breathe in again. Speak in strong, clean sentences on the out-breath. And don't do this. You're making statements, but they sound like questions. It kills trust straight away. I can't even do it properly. Land your last word like a full stop, not a request. Drop your tone at the end. Say it like it matters because it does. If people have to work to understand you, they won't. Slow down slightly. Enunciate more than feels natural. Use your full face and mouth. TV presenters are clear because they over-enunciate. Try it. Now, it might feel weird at first, but it will sound great. You know, if someone can lip read you, you're doing it right. This is where you go from good to magnetic. When you speak with rhythm, people feel the message, not just hear it. So let's build it beat by beat. Fix the flat lines. If you're speaking in evenly weighted sentences, you're easy to tune out. Look at the edges. If they're straight, you're boring. You want a zigzag. Build rhythm on purpose. I choose the words I want to stick in people's minds. I underline them or highlight them. Then I give them an energy kick when I say them. If I want something to land, I give it space, a slight pause. I use 2 forward slashes to remind myself to do this. Now I write these down by hand even when I'm not using a script during the interaction because pen on paper locks it in. These moves are everywhere, from TED Talks to presidential speeches. They work because they sound good and feel good. Parallel phrasing. Say the same thing 3 ways. For example, speak clearly, speak confidently, speak with purpose. It creates a flow, certainty, authority. The snap builder. Short, short, build, boom. Clear, calm, completely unmissable. It builds tension, then delivers the payoff. contrast rhythm. Set up two opposites back to back. Not louder, sharper. Brains love contrast. It lands harder. Punch and echo. Say it, then say it again in a different way. Get attention, keep attention. It's a dance with pace, variation, musicality. If you want to lock this in, download the transcript to this video, use ChatGPT to strip the timestamps and speak it out loud with me. Now, I do this when I'm listening to the radio for fun. I mimic how people speak to experiment. It trains your ear and delivery fast. Now, if you want more communication upgrades, you'll get them in my newsletter. Why don't you subscribe? People decide if you're credible before you speak. If you look stiff, bored, unprepared, or messy, they tune you out. Here's how you fix this. Face. Look into people's eyes. Express with your whole face. Posture. Be grounded. No slouching, swaying, or hiding. Style. I get clients to think of 3 Fs. Feet. Shoes you can move in. Feel. Your mood leaks out into the room. And fit. Clothes that support you. Now, you can tell that I like to use my hands. The most important thing is this: no dead arms and no invisible hands. And be comfortable with what you're doing, whether you're on screen, on stage, or in a meeting. And use contrast. Stand out from the background. Pop in the frame. Look like you belong there, because you do. If you want people to remember you, distill what you say. I help clients cut it all back to 3 words. If an idea doesn't support one of those 3, cut it. It's why I came up with this. Make it 3 words. Yes, that'll do. So it sticks in their minds, just like glue. Plus, the best way to maximize energy when speaking is to give yourself less to remember. If your brain is busy thinking about what to say, it forgets how to say it. These tools help. The word tree I invented. The trunk is the one sentence you want people to walk away with. The branches are the 3 supporting words or themes. And the twigs are the examples, stats, stories, depth. Plus the what, so what, now what framework. What's the idea? Why should people care? What should they do next? When my clients use these tools, the way they speak, stand, and command the room shifts immediately. Their message becomes magnetic. Now, this is important because if people can't follow, they won't follow up. Visuals, props, metaphors, they don't just clarify, they anchor the message. This filing cabinet is your brain. It's when you say something is something else. You want maximum comprehension with minimum words. You see, the more people understand, the more they listen. The more they listen, the more they trust. And the more they trust, the faster they say yes. You see, you can have the perfect message, but if people don't trust you, they won't act. Here's how you fix this. If they can't hear you, it's game over, which is why I always check that events have qualified sound engineers. Tired, flat, stressed, people feel it. Ask yourself, how do I want them to feel when I finish? And go back to the tips in energy and look like a pro to nail how you feel. Standing lifts your energy, even virtually. You speak with more certainty and power. People remember you as in command. If your tone says confident, but your body says, get me out of here, you break the trust loop. Your hands, eyes, posture, voice, vibe, they don't need to be perfect, but they do need to match up. If you want to speak in a way that earns trust on autopilot, why don't you subscribe to my newsletter? Now, all this effort is a waste of your time if your visibility doesn't lead to results. Watch this video next to make sure your visibility doesn't become a trap that kills your growth.